Hi everyone and welcome to today's session. My name's Arsh Ellahi and today we're going to be looking at how you can start your property journey by deal sourcing and how one property alone can make you in excess of £5,000. Now if you like the content of this video, all you have to do to get notified of all the other videos that we upload, click the subscribe button, as well as find us on places like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, as well as the Property Investor app. So today's session is all about deal sourcing. So just to clarify and just to get all the terminology right, what is a deal sourcer? What do they do? So pretty much we're a glorified estate agent. We find properties, we sit in the middle like an estate agent, and we've got the vendor and we've got the purchaser, and in between we sit there as a deal sourcer. The vendor comes to us, we find the deal, we package the deal and we sell it on to our purchaser. That's very straightforward and that's all we do, and as a result of being able to add value in the middle, we charge a fee for our commission. Now hopefully you've all got that and it's very straightforward. So how can we get started? Now I'm going to be teaching you some things today that not many people talk about, and I like to think that I'm not going to give you the high five, happy clappy stuff. We're going to get down to the nitty gritty of what is required to become a deal sourcer. Now first thing that we need to know about is you need to become compliant. So I'm not going to go through all the compliance and all the stuff that you need to do. You can Google, you can check on YouTube for all different types of compliance. You need to have some insurance in place. You need to be registered with the ICO, the Information Commissions Agency. You need to be registered with either the TPO or the Property Redress Scheme. And there's other little bits and pieces. You need to be registered with the anti-money laundering regulations. So there's a couple of things that you need to do. It's not very costly to do that. It costs on average about £800 a year for you to become a compliant deal sourcer. So that's something that I would recommend everyone does. Off the basis of becoming a compliant deal sourcer, next thing that we need to ask ourselves is that, who are we? Now it sounds like a strange question, but what do we really do, and what is our best method of approach? And the reason why I say that is because not everyone is as confident as I am. Now we've got two methods. We can either go via agents, or we can go direct to owner. Now, pros and cons for each. So let's quickly go through the pros. The pros of dealing with agents is the fact that they've got quantity of properties, which means that if you work with them correctly, you show them that you're compliant, you can show them that you're competent, they can find you deals day after day after day after day. Now when you go direct to owner, how many properties will they have realistically? Perhaps 1/2 properties, which means that you're going to have to work very hard to get out to a number of owners in order to feed your funnel. Now when we talk about funnel, we talk about properties coming in, so it keeps you guys busy constantly. Now give you a bit of background about me. I'm a deal sourcer, I'm a deal trader. I've been trading for 19 years, possibly the longest in the industry. I trade on average around 500 deals a year. So you've got to remember, out of 500 properties, how many properties would I have actually seen? How many properties would I have had to have rejected and said, sorry, they don't work for me? And it's the 500 that say, yes, I like it, it's a deal, let's get it sold. So let's get moving forward. So are you going to go to an agent, or are you going to go direct to vendor? If you're going to go direct to vendor, how are you going to approach them? You're going to approach them by letter. Are you going to send them a leaflet? How many leaflets are you going to send them? How many letters are you going to send them? What's the conversion rate? The reason why I say that is that all these come at a cost. And if you work on the basis that a letter on average costs around £5 per letter to send, because let's just imagine that you're on the street and all these houses are for sale and you're trying to target each and every single one of them. First of all, you go to land registry. Off land registry, you find the house number and the postcode. You spend £3 on downloading the register and the title, the land registry register and title. So that's £3. After that, you then got to get a piece of paper, either write it, type it, whatever you want to do. Then you've got to get an envelope. Then you've got to put a stamp on it, whether that be first or second class. So all in all, I reckon that each letter is around £5, which means that if you're sending out 100 letters a month, that's £500. Now, is there a guarantee that that person's going to call you? When will they call you? Why will they call you? There's so many things that we have to take into consideration. How will that person react when they see your letter? What day have you caught them on? Is there a day where a property has just fallen through, their sale has just fallen through with the agent, therefore they're more motivated to deal with you? Or is it a day where they've just had a viewing and they've potentially had an offer? So that all reflects, and the day also reflects on how they perceive your letter. More importantly, what's the tonality of your letter? Do they understand it? Do they understand your offering? Do they understand what you're trying to give them and the benefits that you offer? So I find generally going to owners is a lot more difficult than dealing with agents. You'll probably spend a lot more time going to owners and dealing with them than you would by speaking to an agent. Now, let's go through the pros and cons of an agent. With an agent, how many properties does an agent have? On average, each agent has approximately 50 properties to sell. Now, not all properties are going to be ripe for what you're after. So naturally, you'll want the ones that need work. You'll want the ones that you can convert into a HMO. You're the ones that you can multi-let, the ones that you can use as, let's say, for argument's sake, Airbnb, service accommodation. So naturally, not all of them are going to be available for that. So let's just work on the basis that on average, let's say about 10%, if that max 5% of their stock is the kind of stock that you're after, next thing you need to do is try and convince them. And I use the word convince is because you need to create this working relationship with them. They've got to understand what you're offering. You've got to portray why you're the best person for them to work with. So what are you offering? So my next question to you is, what is your USP? And for those that don't know what USP stands for, it's unique selling point. Why should they work with you? What's the benefits with working with you? How's everyone going to win? So there's three people in the equation. There's a vendor, there's the estate agent, there's you, there's four people, and then eventually there's the purchaser. How are all four people going to benefit? Now, how's the vendor going to benefit? Are they going to get a quick sale? How's the estate agent going to benefit? Are you going to make the process easier? How are you going to benefit? Are you going to make money from property that you don't own? And then finally, how's the purchaser going to benefit? Are they going to get a property at a great price and with great value? So are you going to get a below market value opportunity? Are you going to negotiate it? Are you going to package it? And they're going to do that all from the comfort of their own home. So there's lots of things. So what's your unique selling point? How will everyone benefit from it? So you really have to think about this before you start going into an agent. It's not as simple anymore as going to an agent and saying, hi, my name's Arsh. I'm a property investor. I'm a cash buyer. I can complete within 7 days. How many times have they seen that? How many times have they heard that? How many times have they been let down? So it's really up to you to describe and actually point out why you are the person that they should be working with and how the relationship between you and them is going to be beneficial for all parties involved. Now, personally, I'm a big fan of working with agents. Now, there's a great debate. Why should someone pay you for a property when it's on the market with an agent? Question is that, my answer is very simple. How would my investor in London have seen a property in Wolverhampton without my intervention or without me actually coming in the middle and say, guys, okay, have you seen this property? Would they have seen that property? There's loads of people. I've got investors all over the world that are looking for properties, but they have not seen the nuggets or the golden nuggets that I have, and I've put it in front of them. So therefore, I need to be paid for my service. If you've got an investor on your books that doesn't want to pay you for your service, then they're not the right investors for you. So things to take into consideration, especially when you're deal sourcing. Now, question that I've got to ask you as well is that how do you work better? Now, not everyone's as confident as me. I'm great at picking up the phone and saying to them, guys, my name's Arsh Ellahi, this is who I am, this is what I do. The benefits of working with me is this, this, this and this. How confident are you at doing exactly the same? And what will make them buy into you? Because remember, when you speak to agents or even when you speak to vendors, you've got one shot. They will make that snapshot decision as to whether they like you or not. Now, I'm not going to stand here and say that every agent falls in love with me every time I speak to them. Some people may say I'm too confident. Other people may say that they don't like my tone because I could come across too aggressive. Or aggressive, is that the right word? Yes, let's call it aggressive for today. But in the same respect, other people like the fact that I get stuff done. GSD, get stuff done. On another day, that stuff will be replaced with a swear word, but today it's get stuff done. So when I go out to a viewing, first thing that I do, if I meet the estate agent, I view the property. Within an hour, I get an offer to them. And I then get it out to my investors. And within 24 to 48 hours, I try and get the investor legally instructed. So I work at a very quick pace. But I can only do that because it's all via phone, and I'm very confident on that. Next thing that you need to take into consideration is that if you're not great on phone, are you going to do it by email, or are you going to send out the letters, or are you going to send out the leaflets? Remember, leaflets and letters, there's no guarantee that they're going to call you back. There's no guarantee that they're going to pick up that letter and say, you know what, I want to deal with you. Whereas with a phone call, I get that answer pretty much instantly. And this is how we started to deal source. I've been deal sourcing 19 years, and off the back of that, I've now got agents all over the country calling me and saying, Arsh, okay, I've got this stock. Do you think you'll have an investor for it? I've got vendors still from people that I've been advertising since the year 2010 who've kept our letters. I said, guys, okay, I saw your letter. First of all, check in, are you still in business? And the moment I say yes, they say, great, okay, you must be doing something right. Second of all, would you like to have a look at our property? So these are some of the tips that I'm giving you for deal sourcing. Don't become a one-trick pony. When you look at a property, go there with multiple angles, because there's two words that I'm going to write here, and these are two words that you should be using in your property business every day. I consider them as pain and motivation, and everyone has either a pain or motivational point. You need to try and figure out what that pain is, and you need to come up with a solution to resolve or relieve that pain. Understand what the motivation is. Why are they calling you? Why have they not gone on with this estate agent? Or if the property is with an agent, why has that agent not sold it yet? There's no right or wrong answer by this, by the way. So you've got to take this into consideration and write these words down: pain and motivation. When you understand what the motivation is, or you understand where the pain points are, come up with a solution that's going to make it worthwhile for everyone involved. And remember, make sure that you hit the wins for the vendor, the estate agent, you and your purchaser. And that's how you create a fantastic and successful sourcing business. Off the back of that, each deal should vary anything from, depending on the deal, my average fee is around 5,000 per property. Bearing in mind that we do on average 500 a year, you guys do the maths. Now, if you like the thought of that, first of all, press subscribe on the video below. Second of all, if you like the thought of deal sourcing and you want to work with us, why don't you, first of all, visit my new property investment app called Property Investor by going to www.propertyinvestor.app.co.uk, and you can also find it on the Apple iOS App Store by searching Property Investor, and also going on Google Play Android Store by searching Property Investor. You'll see the kind of stock that we've got on there. You'll see how much stock we've got on there. And you can kind of see how we've broken it down, and as a deal sourcer, how I'm doing this every day. So I really hope you've enjoyed the session. Hopefully you've taken a lot of content out of it. please feel free to share the video. Please feel free to post it on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, etc. and tag me in it, and I'll look forward to working with you very soon.